Good day, madam. This is our presentation about mental health profession.
What is mental health?
Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood.
Depression and schizophrenia are the most common mental health issues and mental illnesses in the Philippines. What is depression? Depression or major depressive disorder is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act.
What is the number one cause of depression?
There's no single cause of depression. It can occur for a variety of reasons and it has many different triggers. For some people, an upsetting or stressful life event such as bereavement, divorce, illness, redundancy, and job or money worries can be the cause. Different causes can often combine to trigger depression.
In the Philippines, 3.3 million Filipinos suffer from depressive disorders.
Who is most likely affected by depression?
Percentage of adults who experience any symptoms of depression was highest among those aged 18 to 29 had 21.0%, followed by those aged 45 to 64 had 18.4%, and 65 and over had 18.4%, and lastly, by those aged 30 to 44 had 16.8%. Women were more likely than men to experience mild, moderate, or severe symptoms of depression.
How to overcome depression?
Here are some of what we know about what you can do to help overcome depression. On lifestyle changes, the first thing you do is to exercise. Second, limit your alcohol intake. And lastly, make time for fun. On medication, the first thing you do is to take antidepressants. Second, talk therapy. 3. Maintain a long-term relationship with your therapist. 4. Alternative treatments. And lastly, positive self-talk. What is schizophrenia?
Schizophrenia is a serious mental illness that interferes with a person's ability to think clearly, manage emotions, make decisions, and relate to others. It is a complex, long-term medical illness.
What is the cause of schizophrenia?
The exact causes of schizophrenia are unknown. Research suggests a combination of physical, genetic, psychological, and environmental factors can make a person more likely to develop the condition. Some people may be prone to schizophrenia, and a stressful or emotional life event might trigger a psychotic episode. Schizophrenia is the top brain disorder in the Philippines, affecting at least 42% of patients who seek psychological consult. Who is most likely affected by schizophrenia?
Men and women are equally likely to get this brain disorder, but guys tend to get it slightly earlier. On average, men are diagnosed in their late teens to early 20s. Women tend to get diagnosed in their late 20s to early 30s. How to overcome schizophrenia? There's no cure for schizophrenia. If you're diagnosed with this disorder, you'll need lifelong treatment. Treatments can control or reduce the severity of symptoms. It's important to get treatment from a psychiatrist or mental health professional who has experience treating people with this disorder. Mental health is vital to overall personal wellness. Mentalhealth.gov describes mental health as our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Here are some activities that can help to improve your overall psychological well-being.
First, get plenty of sleep. Next, stop to enjoy small aspects of the day. Next, use a stress ball or some other stress reliever. Next, perform a random act of kindness. Next, exercise. Next, deep breathing exercises. Next, yoga. And lastly, eat breakfast. Psychological empowerment is composed of four cognitions, meaning self determination, competence, and impact. Specifically, meaning refers to the alignment between one's work role and one's own beliefs, values, and standards. Self determination is an individual's sense of autonomy or control concerning the initiation or regulation of one's actions. Competence refers to the belief in one's capability to successfully perform work activities. Impact is the belief that one can make a difference in the managerial process. The one could influence operational outcomes in the work unit.
The school counselors diagnose mental health concerns.
Serious diagnosable mental health conditions affect 21% of the children between the ages of 9 and 17, but only 20% of these children obtain a diagnosis and receive treatment in any given year. While school counselors may suspect the presence of learning difficulties or other conditions such as ADHD, they are not licensed to diagnose or prescribe medication. Some schools do have school psychiatrists, however, and these professionals are able to prescribe medication to students, though parental permission is typically necessary.
When a school counselor suspects the presence of a learning, behavioral, or mental health concern, they will typically provide a referral to a specialist in the community. Learning difficulties can be diagnosed by school or educational psychologists or neuropsychologists, and ADHD is generally diagnosed by psychiatrists, physicians, or clinical psychologists in private practice.
If you're feeling depressed, anxious, sad, or angry, watch this.
The tough times you go through will end. You must fight until it happens. Life is hard, but keep going and you will find the end of the tunnel. There are waves of highs and lows, and you must see through the darkness until you get the light.
Do not feel trapped. Make sure you get out and exercise and take the right amount of rest when your mind needs it to keep yourself fresh and focused. Keep busy and moving on a path which will take you to newer levels.
Failure is not the end. So do not listen to those people who tell you that your failure is the end. It is only the beginning and you can learn from it. Just make sure you keep going.
Worry is a habit and can lead to anxiety. Make sure you interrupt this pattern by engaging your mind and thinking on a happy or creative thought. Visualize a calm state. Lower your heart rate and get your mind back on track.
Thank you for listening and watching, Madam, from your lovely students.